Texas on a daily basis where people are arriving. Our president, President Biden, has not done enough. He has not done enough to secure the borders. He has not done enough to go in and propose some legislation that he can push forth himself to change this situation. And I'm telling you, we're so angry here in Chicago, which has been a Democratic stronghold for most of its eternity. This year, we're working to turn Chicago red. We are so angry with Pritzker and with President Biden and with our mayor that we have decided that we're going to vote Republican this time around. Wow. That's just how angry we are. We are so angry that we are willing and going to turn our backs on the Democratic Party. I sat in some of those city council meetings and I looked at and I watched the aldermen totally disregard the voices of the people. And when I was going down there, we were coming down every week in the hundreds. And what we said did not matter. And when we were talking about changing Chicago's status as a sanctuary city, and keep in mind, we still have a right to do that. Just like Biden has the right to put forth an executive order to change the crisis at the border, Chicago's mayor has the right to put forth an executive order to change Chicago's sanctuary city.
Will he do it?
Of course he will not do it. If he was going to do it, it would have been done. And remember, there was a vote within City Council where the ordinance to change it was strucken down. And the mayor was the deciding vote.
Okay. So I want to play just a little bit. It's actually a clip from your Democratic mayor, Brandon Johnson, just after that City Council meeting yesterday that got pretty chippy. And at the end of the day, he is the one you are counting on in all of this, as you just said. It's his vote. It's his, in those meetings, it's his voice. It's his leadership that matters. Let's watch.
We're grateful that the state and the county is working towards providing more investments, even though we have to have a more substantive conversation about where those dollars will actually go.
So I just have one question. Chicago had a choice after Lori Lightfoot, who was breaking COVID protocols to go get her hair done and all sorts of things. They didn't have to go farther left with Brandon Johnson. Why did you vote for him?
I voted for Brandon Johnson because I knew him. I voted for Brandon Johnson because I thought that he would be good for Chicago. I voted for Brandon Johnson because really I didn't do my homework. Because had I done my homework and paid attention to the alliances and who he was with and who groomed him, I would have known better, and I would have voted differently. And that brings me to the challenge of really standing up and not just saying to Chicagoans or Illinoisans, but to all voters in this country, it is time for us to stand up and to vote our self-interest. We vote along party lines, especially as African Americans, and that needs to change. We need to start voting for people who are going to promote our self-interest. And that may not be a Democrat, and it may not be a Republican. It may be an independent candidate. It may be a Green Party candidate. But I think that now we have come to a point in this country where we have to stop marrying ourselves to party, stop voting along ethnic lines, because we're seeing that that is not working for us. And so that is why I will be voting Republican for the first time.
Wow, that is a lot. That's a lot of change. And it only took 3 years with one president to undo what you said, a lifetime of Democratic voting in Chicago, at least for you. Does it make a difference if Republicans come to see you this election cycle and talk about this issue on the ground in Chicago?
I think the Republicans need to come and see us. I think they need to come and talk to us because let me just say this, that the Republican Party has not been spotless, and there are certainly some issues that we would love to discuss with them that I think that we can have some common ground on. I
Okay.
think that we can agree to be disagreeable on some issues, but yes, this is the perfect time for the Republican Party to come into the city of Chicago, the state of Illinois, and sit down and talk to the people because we are looking for change.
Cata Trust, God bless you. Thank you so much. You put a lot on a lot of people's minds today. And I wish
Thank
you
you.
well in Chicago. I know you're dealing with a lot of citizens there. Thank you.
Thank you.